Welcome everyone to the SERL Domino's Pizza Truck Series Season 2, Race 16 at Gateway Motorsports Park, a 1.25-mile egg-shaped oval. And what is an egg-shaped oval, you might ask? Well, it is an oval where we have two different sets of corners. Turns 1, 2 have a smaller angle than turns 3 and 4, and turns 1 and 2 are also banked at 11 degrees. Turns 3 and 4 is slightly less, 9 degrees. And while I don't think this affects how you enter and exit the corners and the type of racing that we will see that much, I think that it does present an extra challenge to these drivers and teams that they are not used to in most weeks. And this is the second time the trucks are here at Gateway. When we were here last season, it was a pretty, I remember it being a pretty wild race where there wasn't a whole lot of green flag runs. I think that there were, I think 4 accidents, and 3 of them were cautions. The other one was a crash on the final lap, exiting turn number 4. But the two big trouble spots that I picked up on were turns 1 and 2, which that corner is the smaller the smaller angle corner and the more tighter of the two corners, and turns 3 and 4. That's where the front stretch starts to get very, very narrow, and so if a wreck happens there, it's really going to be hard to avoid accidents based on last season's event. And also, what we saw last season was it really paid off to start up front. So I feel like that our winner of this race, unless something really catastrophic happens, it's going to be within one of the first few rows. And by the end of last season's race, it was won in a photo finish. Jim Kelly, Zachary Fitzwater. Jim Kelly won the race by 23 one-thousandths of a second, or to put it differently, 0.023 of a second. So yeah, one of the closest finishes ever in the SERL. And could we see the same thing? And could we see the same thing today? Maybe. Who knows? Anything can happen in racing. And now let's change our focus to the championship picture. I believe that there are 5 drivers still in hunt for this championship as of entering this weekend. Mason Jefferson, Abe Troxell, Johnny Worth, Cleb Crafton, Biff Crafton. And Mason Jefferson, I think he lost a little bit of ground from Abe Troxell, who moved into second place after a great run last week at Homestead. And Johnny Worth, he's still in the hunt, but really has not shown the same amount of speed as he did, I think, a few weeks ago. Cleb Crafton, I think he actually could have been our points leader had he not gotten involved in the crash that ended the race last week at Homestead. For those who don't know, Homestead was pretty. It was also pretty wild and having several lead changes and just a lot of 3 and 4 wide. And in that race, once one driver went sideways, it collected a whole bunch of other drivers, and Cleb Crafton was one of those drivers that was collected. So yeah, that's why he's 4 points. Biff Crafton didn't really show the same speed that he had in previous weeks, but I think that if Biff Crafton can get himself up to the front, he can gain a lot of points on these other drivers. And now let's get the trucks rolling off. Here is the starting lineup. So as I saw it fly by, I saw our top 3 points all starting deep in the field, and if this could load. So here he is, Kenny Hamlin. I think he is now the 13 different pole winner in 16 races. Matt Hotchkiss starts alongside of him, and so once again another front row start for Matt Hotchkiss. Here is the rest of the field, and here's what I'm talking about. Abe Troxell, Johnny Worth, Mason Jefferson, all starting outside the top 28. So with them starting back that far, this could be a great opportunity for I don't know, Biff Crafton, Luke Walker, Cleb Crafton, wherever he currently is, and of course many others to maybe get back in this championship hunt. But anyway, Kenny Hamlin and Matt Hotchkiss come off of turn number 4, and they will receive the green flag for the first time ever in today's race. Here we go, the green flag at Gateway. I probably did not say that right. But anyway, heading down into turn number 1. So right here, they're already starting to get 2 and 3 wide. But the thing is, I would not consider that the normal racing groove, because I feel like that often, I think it's so easy to slide up, especially I think it turns 1, 2. But anyway, it looks like Kenny Hamlin is going to be able to lead this first lap. Matt Hoshkus right behind him. Here comes Ben Braley in the 4 right here. And behind them right here, not Kenny Hamlin, Kyle Kaminsky in the 11. Oh my goodness, here. Someone hit him hard. Bobby Unit in the 05, the Kentucky winner. Johnny River here, he got a piece of it. Jim Kelly as well, last season's winner. And chances are, I have a feeling others, and maybe one of those drivers was possibly Abe Troxell, the second place man points. And that is one of the consequences of starting in the back. Not only do you put yourself in a bad position to not gain a whole lot of points, you also put yourself in a bad position to possibly get involved in wrecks like we just saw. So I think the initial contact was between Jim Kelly and Kyle Kaminsky, hooking together, and then hitting the inside wall. And in case I did not say it, or in case you were not following the pre-race show, I did say that, as you can see right here on this front stretch, it's pretty narrow. So once an accident happens, it's not that easy to avoid it compared to other crashes. Just like I said, Jim Kelly and Kyle Kaminsky hook together here, and both drivers go very hard into the inside wall, especially, well, actually, Kyle Kaminsky was the only driver that hit the inside wall. As you can see, Big Crafton in the 54, he did get a piece of it right here, but the heavy contact right here was when Bobby Una, he either went a little too low, or the hole just closed up right here. And as you can see in front of them, when Bobby Una got collected, it also ended up collecting A. Troxell and Johnny Warfer here. Look at this at full pace. The 74 Dean Orton also got a piece of it as well. So, 2 of the 3 drivers atop of the points, or in the top 3 in points, already have some damage, and might it might cause them to not get good finishes. Biff Crafton didn't get a whole lot of damage from the contact between him and Kyle Kaminsky. It was more like a scrape, but from the left side camera, you really cannot even hear or feel the contact. After winning 3 races a season ago, I believe, it just seems like that nothing can seem to go right for Jim Kelly this season. This is how close last week's winner and 2-time winner so far this season, Eric Almerhart, came to getting collected. Breaking news involving one in the championship picture. Johnny Worth in the 84, you see him marked a lap down. He just went behind the wall, and he'll be out of the race. And also, some other news is that Bobby Una and Kyle Kaminsky, they are also out of the race. And Payne Keys, who was right behind Biff Crafton when the crash was happening, he also came up pit road to make a pit stop. So I don't really know what happened to him, especially since it seems like that he did not get any damage in the crash. But anyway, Kenny Hamlin was just able to hold off Matt Hoshkus and Ben Braley before the caution came out, and that's why he's still leading it. And here we go. The green flag is back out at Gateway. I feel like now we should start seeing maybe. I think that we could see a long green flag run now, because I feel like that because I feel like that now that we have more of a notebooker here. Oh, wait a second, maybe not. Bobby, well, who am I talking about here? Aiden Saunders in the 0-2. I think he was off in the grass here, and he's on the rumble strip. Oh my goodness, that's gonna slow down the car if you stay on it here, and that's what happened. Because the thing is, now he held up Garrett Sidnor, Hey Jefferson, but Crafton is in the middle of this. This is not good. This is not good. Entering the corners, and yeah, just look at how many positions you can lose when you're on the outside. And now we're here. and out here, this is still not good right here. We're gonna keep our eye on this pack because I do not have a good feeling about all of this. Meanwhile, Kenny Hamlin has pulled to lead. It only gets once again. And Saunders almost gets hooked. Yeah, I'm not feeling too good about this. So here, Jacob Reed, Garrett Sinor. Now he's gonna get shuffled out of the way. Heading down the back stretcher here and into turns 3 and 4. This is the wider, or maybe the bigger angle of the two corners here. And right there, you can see Bick Crafton and Luke Walker right here. And I also see Cameron Garlandton and Riley Smith. They're trying to move up to the front. Oh, there we go! There we go! And I think, is it Cliff Crafton right there? Yeah, yes, it is Cliff Crafton here, and he has a lot of damage on the left side of the car. This driver came in 4 points, and Johnny Riff having his struggles. Oh my gosh, here, another crash! A huge crash here, and it involves Jimmy Johns, Blaine Keys, Andrew Gorman, Lonnie Mills Jr. And so that's going to bring out the caution. Jimmy Johns is on his lid. Here, what happened here? We were focusing a whole lot on Cliff Crafton that I did not notice what happened in the middle of turns 3 and 4. So we're going to have to get a couple of replays here. First, looking at what happened coming off of turn number 2, and then looking at turns 3 and 4. The way this started, and this is what happened coming off of turn number 4, Bick Crafton and Jacob Reed, they hooked together here, and so Bick Crafton also got some damage as well here. They all hooked together here down into Blaine Keys and Cliff Crafton. Eric Allmer also got some damage as well, but Cliff Crafton, he took the hardest hit into that concrete wall that doesn't have a safer barrier driver's side. But then, as we speed this up, and then slow down once again here. Look at Andrew Gorman and Willie Buffer here. They're already stuck here right here, and that causes them here to go down into Blaine Keys, and then Jimmy Johns and Lonnie Mills Jr. just have nowhere to go. Jimmy Johns takes one of the wildest rides that I've actually can really ever recall in this league, especially at a track like Gateway, where my bad. Where it doesn't seem like that these types of wrecks are even like possible, but like I said, it's racing and anything can happen, even though it may not be totally believable. Let's take a flyby from the middle of turns 3 and 4, looking at turn number 4. And actually, before you see the calamity, you'll actually see Kendall Maynor actually try to pass Kenny Hamlin from the outside. Several weeks ago, I thought Lonnie Mills Jr. would have been a driver that could crawl his way into the championship picture because he won 2 races and he was just, to me, a lot more better. But it just hasn't happened yet, and now with him being involved in this crash, it's going to take him outside maybe even outside the top 15 in points. I think at this point, I think he kind of knows that he's already in trouble and he's trying to get out of it. But then he's still stuck. He's still stuck on the high side. And then, actually, in some ways, Andrew Gorman hit him, and that caused him to go down into William Effort. So maybe that was the initial contact all along. You might have heard phrases like "you have to lose some to win some," and in the case of Cliff Crafton, he had to get involved in one to miss one. A couple of things. So, Lonnie Mills Jr. and Jimmy Johns, Blaine Keys are all out of the race, and Kendall Maynor, who I thought was actually battling for Kenny Hamlin for the lead, actually was not. I guess he was a lapped car, but he was not a lap down before we took the green flag. So I don't know if he had to make a pit stop, which chances are I have a feeling that happened, which I guess that would explain why he was able to try pass, or maybe he was just game passed by Kenny Hamlin. So my bad on that. But anyway, now we just have 30 cars on the lead lap, and so far things are not going that great for many of our drivers high up in points. And now, all the drivers that are in the championship picture, that are still in this race, they're gonna get. They are now going to get faced with a challenge of staying out of trouble again and trying to make up ground on the racetrack. Here we go. The green flag is already out. And Domino, it looks like his car might possibly be able to stay up to speed. Maybe. He's doing a pretty good job right now. I mean, he's not holding up Leia Walker and Kendall Jamel very well. And speaking of that, here are drivers that I think that we should highlight here, because Leia Walker, really, it feels like that every time I've talked about this driver, she really. I think it's usually been because she's gotten involved. She was a driver that was involved in a crash. She may not be able to say that this time around, as she is now currently in second position, and it looks like that she might be able to maybe hunt down Kenny Hamlin, especially if Kenny Hamlin uses that higher line. But anyway, Kendall Jamel in the 08. This is a driver that really has not had a whole lot of magic either. I mean, I think he was a lot more worse in the in the championship run earlier in the season, but now I think he's actually been able to improve, and I think that probably his best finish recently was that Bullet/Harleypool a couple weeks ago. Now, who was that? Oh, okay, that was Andrew Gorman leaving the exiting pit road. But anyway, here we go. Actually, battle for the lead. Leia Walker. She will lead the lap, so now she is our first leader other than Kenny Hamlin. Here comes Kendall Jamel in the 08. He's also trying to get his first career win. So currently, right now, our top two, or actually our top three, are drivers that have never won a race. Kenny Hamlin. I've said this time and time again, but earlier in the season he was really struggling, and the thing is, he has performed really well since then. And whether he wins the race or not, he might possibly be closer than ever to getting himself into the championship picture. But anyway, he is now dropping back because he is stuck on the high seat here along with Kendall Jamel. So now Leia Walker, she is now back up to the point. But anyway, now it's back right here. This is not looking good right here. Kenny Hamlin in the middle. They are going 3 wide right here. Luke Walker in the 10. Look at Luke Walker right here. With this finish right here, and with where everyone else in the championship picture is running, he might be able to get himself back into the championship picture. And right now, he's currently drafting with Ian Saunders, but he has to let it off right here. As right here, oh my goodness, whoa! Okay, that could have been bad. So I believe our two leaders have been Kendall Jamel and Leia Walker. But anyway, Hayden Jefferson in 13. I think I said this before, but I remember him earlier in the season having that one really good race here, and the caution is now out. That might be the caution that ends the race, and if so, Leia Walker had just scored her 30th, not her 30th, her first career win. I bet. Brian Ketchuk in the 14. It looks like that he was involved. Maybe. Is that it? Yeah, it looks like that might have just been it. And it looks like that it was a spin on the backstretch, probably because two drivers hooked each other. But let's take a look. We recently saw Luke Walker get off the gas a little earlier than what I think is usual or necessary, and I think that might have been because maybe he did not want to hook the 02 of Ian Saunders, and I felt like the same thing happened here with Brian Ketchuk right here, but because the thing is, all of a sudden he drops like 30 miles per hour really faster here, and as you can see, I think that even though you can't see it here, there's definitely a speed difference here, and the thing is, that causes him and Conor Breen here, and then Conor Breen goes right down into Charles Belding, who then gets in the grass and then just comes right back up into Brian Ketchuk. So a very weird situation, I gotta say. And Dean Orton, he also got involved. What about? Whoa! I think Abe Troxell was actually able to slow down just in time, actually. So yeah. So I think that is probably going to be the last caution of the day. But who knows? It may not be over until it's over. It's going to be a 1-lap dash. So Leia Walker does not have this in the bag yet, but she is in a really good position. She she has been the only driver to pass whoever was in the lead, and that driver was Kenny Hamlin, who has now fallen all the way back to 6th position. But we saw the 13 of Hayden Jefferson. He got himself up to the front pretty quickly. And I think that it's going to be a battle between one of those two. I don't think anyone else, with there being one lap to go, should is going to be able to catch them, especially since it is just one lap. But here we go. Coming to the green flag, and now, but it shouldn't really be the green flag, it's more like the white flag. Here we go. The white flag is out. One more lap to go. In front of this crowd, that I think is over 70,000 here. Hayden Jefferson to the bottom. He goes to the inside, and now Hayden Jefferson here. He's in a good position here. And the thing is, Leah Walker, it's going to take a lot for her to maybe bounce back. Down into turns 3 and 4. Leah Walker, she's driving it in a little deep. Last season, we saw a fellow Fisher here to the inside. Leah Walker here. Hey, Jefferson on the high side. Is he still going to have the momentum? No, it is not. Leah Walker is going to score the victory after looking like she had lost it. And that is going to be our first crew win in the SERL in period, but more specifically, the SERL Domino's Pizza Truck Series race. My goodness, what a race here. It looked like Leah Walker lost it exiting turn number 2, but then I think Ken Leonore decided to lay off, so that way he would allow Leah Walker to go inside and have the preferred liner here, and then she just got a really good run entering turns 3 and 4, and that's what ended up getting her the victory. And that was pretty, and that was pretty similar to what happened a season ago, where it was Jim Kelly and Zachary Fitzwater, and a photo finish that was, I think, 23 thousandths of a second. But anyway, here is the finishing order. So this time the winning margin was 0. It was 113 tenths of a second, or 113 thousandths of a second, if that's how you say it. And here is the rest of the finishing order. So it looks like that. While Luke Walker is not going to get the while Luke Walker is not going to be the points leader, he definitely got himself back into the championship, especially with the performance of Mason Jefferson. Not his best performance, but he did get a good job gaining as many positions as he can and staying up front. But more so for Abe Troxell and Johnny Worth and Chloe Crafton here. Those are performances. Those are performances that neither of those 3 drivers wanted to see, because they're now going to lose points to Mason Jefferson, and now that also allows other drivers to. And now it allows other drivers that they did not want to see in the championship picture to be in the championship picture. My goodness, that was kind of a little hard to say. Where's Biff Crafton in all of this? Biff Crafton, where did he finish? Oh, 27. Yes. I think Biff Crafton, he might actually fall out of the championship picture with that finish, because he was the last driver in the championship picture, or the lowest driver, or the lowest score driver in points to be in the championship picture. But anyway, that is Gateway. So I hope that you tune in for the next few races. Milwaukee and darn it, I still forget where the Hot Wheels Cup Series is going to. Thank you for watching this race. Be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and buy. Congrats to Leah Walker.